welcome to the first episode of PawCast with Operation Snip Em.
Hello.
Hello. We wanted to introduce ourselves. We'll start with Jessica.
My name is Jessica, and I am the CMO and help with Vital Operations.
I am Taylor. I'm the Assistant Director, and I also help with Vital Operations.
And I am Amy, and I am the Director. Snip was started when we realized that shelters were full, not just of dogs and cats, but of kittens and puppies. So we wanted to start a program to where spaying and neutering was more readily available to people that couldn't afford it. And then once we started with people's pets, we realized the feral cat population was out of control. So then our TNR program started. So what do we do? Anyone want to answer that?
Operation Snip Em started when, like Amy said, we saw firsthand that shelters were very, very overwhelmed with the increasing number of animals that needed to come in, wait lists miles long. And we really learned that the root of the issue is the pet overpopulation, and that's where Snip Em came to be, to combat that issue. So because that is the beginning, that is the root of our problem. So we don't fix that, shelters will never decrease in numbers, and so we decided that that problem needed to be solved first. So what we do and what Snip Em started with was low-income families were able and are able to apply for one of our vouchers if they meet the requirements, and we will send you a voucher in the mail. It's $75 off of a cat and $85 off of a dog. And this doesn't pay for a full spay and neuter procedure, but it makes it affordable for families so that we can have a shared responsibility in combating the pet overpopulation crisis, and so that dogs and cats don't keep reproducing at a very, very fast rate.
We're going to talk a little bit about what TNR is and how we came to start doing TNR. So TNR stands for Trap, Neuter, Return, and that is basically where we go to people's houses that feed stray cats, that have stray cats in their yard or on their property, trap them in humane live traps, transport them to clinics, vets offices, basically anywhere we can get lower cost and quicker, more effective, high volume spay and neuters done, and then we bring them back to where they came from and release them. The reason that we release them and don't just round them up and euthanize them is because there is something called the vacuum effect in feral cat colonies, that when you remove cats from their environment, new cats come in. But when you spay and neuter them, they almost defend their property and don't let any new cats come in, so the population stabilizes. And how we figured out that we should be doing TNR is going out into our community and speaking with people and realizing that a lot of caretakers take care of a lot of cats, but there were no options to help them in our area, and it became very expensive and very overwhelming. Shelters and rescues don't have enough space to take on every litter a feral cat has, and then those feral cats, kittens, become feral adult cats, which reproduce again. They fight, they get sick, they get injured. So TNR is really the only way to stabilize the population and make sure that diseases aren't being spread and cats can live healthy.
And I'd like to elaborate on your point with not just taking them to a rescue or a shelter and not euthanizing, but more so, we don't just take them, get them spay, neuter, vaccinated, and take them to a shelter, because a lot of times they're very feral at this point and you cannot control them. So going to a shelter is really not a very great option because they are out of control. They're hard to tame down once they're already adults. However, like the kittens that we were holding in the beginning of our video, those are babies that we've been finding at homes that we're doing TNR. If they're kittens, they do have the potential to go to a rescue and be tamed because they're at a young age where they haven't got to that feral point yet.
So why do we do this? We decided to do SNP, the Spay Neuter Initiative Program, because of all of the suffering that is going on with puppies, with kittens, with adult dogs, with adult cats. Rescues and shelters are full. Fosters are short. Volunteers are short. Resources, they're spread so thin. So to help with this issue, we came to the realization that spaying and neutering is the root of the problem. We want to help educate people on spaying and neutering, not just to end the unwanted litters, but the health benefits that come along with spaying and neutering, the cancers. There's other reproductive issues besides cancers like pyometria. Is that how you say it? Okay. And that is a horrible, horrible infection that female cats and dogs can get, and they can die from it. Cancer. It is so much cheaper just to get your dog or cat spayed or neutered when they're younger than to deal with the cost of cancer. The feral cat population is out of control. The suffering that we see with the feral community cats, it's hard. It is absolutely hard. We have seen pretty much every kitten we pull from these litters has upper respiratory infections. So we bring them home, we get them antibiotics, they get fed. We either find a rescue if there is room, or we
Keep them till there's room.
keep them till there's room, or they get spayed or neutered and we can find them a home. We've rehomed 30 kittens
Or went to rescue.
or went to rescue this month, I guess
And
July
then-
or
June.
June. Yeah, sorry. They all run together. So that is 30 less cats out there that are gonna suffer or suffering. We have found mamas that try to abort their litters and their body can't, where they are so full of infection that we were lucky enough to catch them before it killed them. The fighting with the male cats, and how they get scars, scratches, infection, because they're fighting over the females. If we get them fixed, that stops.
We're out nearly every night of the week setting traps. We have several colonies that we're working on right now, and we literally set traps one night, and we saw a male cat go pee on every single kennel that we set to mark his territory. And I don't know if you guys know, but cat urine is a nasty smelling thing, and he peed on all the food that we had set out for cats to be trapped in, and that was just so crazy to us, because it was just like astonishing that that male cat immediately after we put it out was like, nope, this is my territory.
So, the fixing a male cat stops that.
And it is good to add too with the back to like spaying and neutering and the reproductive cancers and things can happen, the health issues that can happen if you don't spay and neuter. Male dogs, I'm not sure if you guys know, can go up to miles looking for a female to mate with if they are not neutered. And in the midst of that, they are running at large, they're getting hit by vehicles, they're dying, they're getting picked up by animal controls, using their resources. So it's super important in that aspect too to neuter your dogs, because innocent male dogs are going out and getting hit in the midst of needing to mate with a female.
Good point, David. Good point.
Welcome to our catio. In here is a few of the kittens. There's 4 kittens in here right now that we've recently trapped while out doing some TNR work. They were pretty sickly looking, so we brought them in, and while they're here, they are getting antibiotics, and they are a little on the spicy side. inside, so we're working on taming them. This catio is a great thing for them as it gives them more space to kind of run around and learn how to use their little litter box and play with others, while being able for us to handle them, because when they are a little bit on the spicy side, if they're in a large area, it's hard to get a hold of them, so we can give them their antibiotics, and this also helps with us going in and slowly introducing them to people and taming them down.
Hi guys, so this is Lefty. Lefty's a sweet kitty, but Lefty is hungry. But anyways, Lefty was too sweet of a kitty to be left in the wild. So he is neutered. He has had his rabies shot, 1 round of vaccines. He gets his other round next weekend, and he will be ready for adoption. The only thing we ask is for a rehoming fee, just to not even cover everything that he's had, $50 even. But we will need references just to make sure he goes to a good home, because he's a sweet baby, aren't you?
This is our population patrol van, also known as the Snip Mobile. We are going to give you a tour.
Okay, I'm going to tell you a little bit about our population patrol van and how it helps us here at Operation Snip Em. So, we were using our personal vehicles, but we cannot transport as many as we can in here to the city to low-cost clinics. In our van, we can fit 18, which is many more than we could have fit in our own vehicles. When dealing with feral cats and trapping them, they are very, very messy. So this van helps us keep them clean, and we have a mat donated by WeatherTech that we can spray out after every use, which is super helpful. We are going to take a tour of all of our sponsors that have helped us fund our van, help with upkeep, gas, and everything population patrol. We have McCool's Painting, which does residential and business house painting. Max Motors, which is a dealership here in Richmond. Fast Signs, which made all of our decals and can make all sorts of signs and decals. Sealy Tax Service, which is a local tax service. BTC Bank, located in Hardin, Missouri. Adrian's Pioneer Kitchen. WeatherTech, who donated the mat. Dr. Spotless, which keeps the van nice and clean. Got it.
We are still looking for some more sponsors. We are very gracious for all the sponsors so far. We are going to be doing our permanent vinyl decals at the end of July. So if you would like to be a sponsor of the Population Patrol van, reach out to us at snipeminc@gmail.com.
We have several upcoming events that help fund our program that we would love for you to attend. You can find more information and more details on each of these events following our Facebook page at Operation Snip Em. Our first event we have is a garage sale on July 19th. It will be from 8 a.m. to 4 p.m. We also will be at the Soybean Festival in Norburn, Missouri on August 1st and 2nd.
Our next event will be a car wash at Dr. Spotless Car Wash in Lawson on August 16th. And then after that, we have a car show that will be in Excelsior Springs at the Napa Auto Parts on September 20th.
Then our biggest fundraiser of the year, our Pets for Pets Casino Night. That will be held in Richmond, November 8th. We raised over $25,000 last year, so we are hoping to at least do that, if not do more. So this year, our grand prize, which we are so excited about, will be a trip to Las Vegas for 5 nights, along with a ton of other amazing prizes. We have a lot more ideas this year to make it fun. You don't have to gamble to win. You can buy raffle tickets. Just come, have fun. It was, I think, probably the funnest time a lot of people had last year.
And silent auction items.
Oh,
Look at
yes.
that.
Yes, absolutely. And then we also want to, Max Motors and their oil changes 1 to 4 every day, gives us $10 back. So that really adds up. Our first check we got for the first month was $1,590. That goes a long ways. That spays and neuters a lot of animals. So please support our businesses that support us. So Max Motors of Richmond, they're amazing. We love them. They are great supporters of our cause.
Thank you guys so much for tuning in, and don't forget to like and subscribe.
Fix today.
To fix tomorrow.
See you next time.